This section of the trail is 109 kilometers or 68 miles long and 3,315 meters or 10,875 feet of ascent. From Glenfinnan, we take the Cape Rat Trail through the spectacular and remote Knoydart region before heading west to Glenelg and the Kinloch ferry to Skye. Then this trail takes the old Kinloch to Kinloch path along the coast before crossing the moor to Broadford. So day 10 is a simple day, just going up and over the Bealach and down the other side to a campsite. Day 11 and 12 follow the Cape Rat Trail, but instead of turning north to Shield Bridge, I'll continue west towards Skye. So that's past the Bealach up there, and now on the other side of the valley and into some wild country here. The path is average, thinking of finding some place to camp just down by this burn. There's another bothy which is about 4 miles away, but I think I'll just stay here tonight if there's a place. Just making a cup of tea. Short day yesterday. From the campsite I walked to the bothy about a couple of kilometers and sat and chatted to a guy called Richard all morning, and then cooked some lunch there and headed off about 2 o'clock. And I walked for a couple of hours. I needed a rest day, and that was it. Today is back to normal day, which means it's about 20 past 8, and I will have my cup of tea, breakfast, get going by about 9. This is looking up the valley. I've just come down. I think there are paths on both sides of the burn. I came down on the right hand side, or transferred over there, and then you just make your way. There's a bridge, and then you're over a small path into the forest where you turn right and you follow the forest round this headland all the way round. So this is a beautiful environment. One of my favourite parts of the Cape Rat Trail, just a little bit to Sowley's bothy. It's all rather wonderful in this part of Scotland, but this path is particularly one of my favourites. Just past the bothy,
and the next part is to get past this headland ahead to show you. Luckily the tide is out, so this is the easy way. I think there's a path that runs up above the cliffs when the tide is in, but this should be nice and quick around the headland. Okay, here's the view in front of me. It's beautiful. Is this the sea here? Kinloch. Quite beautiful. There's no wind, so there's 100,000 midges, and I can't really look at the beautiful place, but I've had some supper. It's been a long day, and I'll get some sleep soon. So, another morning, another midge storm. It's absolutely amazing, the number of midges that have just popped up as soon as I got out of the tent, and now they're hovering around on the tent. They're thinking of breakfast, I'm thinking of breakfast, and my breakfast is brewing a cup of tea. I popped a tea bag in hot water, and this is the rest of breakfast. Anyway, the midge helmet works, and I was able to go to the bathroom and come back in and put the water on without too much discomfort. And in here I have eliminated just about all of them. In fact, there was so many, there was bits of midges all over the bottom of the tent. Hey ho! It's another exciting day. The first Kinloch is quite steep, and there's no path really until you get to a path about 300 meters up, so there's a sort of really steep bit to yomp over, and once on the path again, it's up and over the Kinloch, which is going to be beautiful, spectacular views. I think the cloud is more or less above where we're going. I found the path. Here it is, coming from that valley, and this is the way we're going. Down there is the path that I found, which was running on the left bank, on the left of the craggy area. You have to peel off the path you're on, and you'll pick it up pretty quickly if you go up the easier line on the hill. Thank goodness, because it goes all the way up
And we're here with very little effort. As I remember, another 500 feet or so, 1,000 feet. Let's see.
Looking back down the valley, you can see the route coming through the valley here and down. That's where the campsite is, and then you follow the stream on the left-hand side.
So this is the Kinloch, and here we go down to the next valley. This is where the path from the Kinloch joins the main path, and around here is where we're going, right down to the shore behind these trees, and round the corner there on the right up the Kinloch. At the start of the loch side path, which goes up here.
And the last 2 days have been typical Scottish weather, and such a shame because this landscape is so beautiful in the sunshine. It's beautiful even in the rain, but the paths are fantastic. They're windy and interesting. About 3 hours along this beautiful path along the Loch Beg, and you come to Kinloch House at the end. Pass right past that up a steep slope, and you'll find these rather ugly electricity pylons. Unfortunately, we're going to be following them for the next 10 miles or so. So route finding is easy, but aesthetically not so nice. Reasons why I like my barefoot shoes. I don't need to adjust anything. I can just walk straight through any stream without even pausing. And you can see if I paused, I'd get eaten by the midges, so that's a real advantage here. This is where the route leaves the Cape Wrath Trail. That's going up and over the Kinloch over there. And we are going to follow the path along the valley here.
Well, it's a long day, and I'm back in the tent now with the midges outside. I don't know if you can see what's up or not. Maybe you can see them there. Yes. So there are plenty, and I'm just making some food, waiting for it to cook. And I've got everything I need inside, and I shall get rid of any midges that are inside at the moment, so I won't be going out again until tomorrow morning. Well, this morning is a different day. Blue sky, sunshine, The tent's full of condensation and also midges are out there. I'll wait for the sun to dry off the tent a bit. So I've swept the midges off the inside of the tent. I've taken the inner out and packed that separately, and now I'm drying a few bits and pieces in this lovely sunshine, and have my cup of tea finally. So 15 minutes and we're on my way. I don't think it pays to rush. The tent will dry off, and it's a good idea to keep that material in good condition. And the midges are gone, but I'm still a bit itchy because they got to me this morning.
This is where I've come from, and I'm walking up this beautiful, wild, remote valley, up the burnside, up a wee path, and next to these ugly pylons, which is a real shame. And I checked on the map, and they go all the way from Invergarry to Broadford, so they cross right across the country. At the bottom of the valley, there's a little forest, which is called Srath a Chomer. Go around it on the right, as indicated on this line. Do not try and do the shortcut, which I did, which was up and over, because you get to this bridge, which is very unsafe. I didn't know because there were no signs there, and I took a risk because going back felt like a bit too much of an effort.
So it's a rickety bridge, so just going to put my sticks away, and because I leave my hands free. The way back is to loop back about 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. The drop is 30 feet estimate. The metal seems to be reasonably strong, so hopefully the metal will support me and the wood won't disappear. We'll give it a go. I guess better not do up the rucksack. Gonna put this away now. Well, there you go, less problematic, no creeks, but I don't think that's a safe bridge. The way round will be just as easy, so I'll discuss that on the map. Here we go. Which is pretty straightforward to see. That's the way it goes. You arrive at one end of the bridge, there's no sign, and quite a long detour to get back somewhere, which involved going uphill. The alternative is to cross it carefully, which if I came this way I would avoid it, and now I know I'll suggest an alternative to that. So here we go. We are now on a road which will lead to another road. It basically goes down the valley to the sea round the corner, and there's a wee village there. Once I got there, and if there is a shop, that's great. If not, or a cafe even, that'll be lovely. So I survived the midges and the rain yesterday, and my toes sore, but it's not getting any worse. All my muscles are fine, but bending down, feels stiff, and I think all the joints and things are like that are just protecting themselves. So I feel a bit ungainly and less coordinated. However, the legs just keep going up and down hills. The only other pain I have was the shoulder here, which seems to be better today. I'm wondering if I've adjusted the weight in the pack. Maybe I was using a front sack yesterday, which distributes the weight differently. I've elevated this shoulder strap connector here up a bit. Some of these adjustments might have helped with this shoulder, or just the massaging of it. The other thing is the soles of my feet are quite sore because I'm wearing barefoot shoes without any insoles. Sun shining, and it's a beautiful valley and an easy path downhill, so we're in happy times.
The brochs of Telv and Trodden are remarkable structures, originally about 10 metres high. They date back 2,000 years to the time of the Picts. At the moment no one knows what they were built for, possibly defence or possibly storage of grain or built as a status symbol. Walking through this ancient landscape, it's a fantastic experience to come across these buildings, connecting ourselves back 2,000 years to the people who lived in these valleys.
One way to wash your clothes. The water's pretty cold, though it's a nice hot day. I just don't have the sort of energy to do anything more than just get washed. But I think that'll do the trick. I feel a lot more comfortable now, and I think I couldn't really continue walking. Well, I could, but my feet are sore. I'm quite happy to stay here tonight. It's beautiful, and there's even I think there's a pub over in that village, so that's possible. I might go and have a drink. Here's my wee campsite, and the road's up there, but the beach is just here. Another nice night, comfy. I seem to have had really good pictures during this journey, nice and flat. There's nothing that disrupts sleep more than having an angle to try and fight against when you're in your sleeping position. So, and I think I've sacrificed some miles just to get this flat spot.
yesterday, though I tried also to do less because my leg was feeling a bit sore. Today it's been a bit of rain, but very few midges, which is good. I've had breakfast outside and before this shower, and I'm just sort of treading water until I'm going to go up to the ferry. I don't want to get there too early and have to wait if it's raining.
So the peninsula we're going to walk along is this, and you can see a flat area here. I believe that the traditional path will take the easiest route there, so probably going on the flat ground and contour around, that the coast gets a bit steeper further around the corner, and then after about 3/4 of the way we'll end up in a forestry commission forest, and the path may be indistinct there, or may not. Maybe a forestry commission road that can be used. Next thing is it's very exciting to try to keep these old traditional roads open, or routes or paths from these small villages. It was always there's always a logical way through the countryside, and on foot. That means that there are these traditional paths to connect one village to another, and it's a great excitement to travel those paths. And the route so far has been able to connect up quite a few of those old paths to create this much longer walk. And the intention of the walk is to provide a trail long enough to be interesting and connect up beautiful places, remote places, and places which have a sense of history as well, as I'm learning. I didn't realize that at the beginning. I just saw marks on maps, but after reading a little bit, and the logic is so clear. These traditional paths have been used for maybe thousands of years, certainly hundreds of years. So yeah, that's one of the more interesting parts of this walk at the moment, is rediscovering these paths. On Mull they were really hidden, and some not used as much as others. So let's see. I expect this to be quite rough and indistinct, but with a bit of help from GPS I should be able to stay on the correct path, and I'll give you updates as to how that goes as we go along. So here it says public footpath, so I expect this is it. In the village of Kinloch, and yes, it is. Beginning is probably the start of not a very well defined path. It's already overgrown and we've just done 20 feet. We come from the ferry down there, and if you're heading, there's some sheep pen down there, and then you're sort of coming up, and there's this little knobbly bit. If you aim for the right side of this, then this is the path, and going over, and here it goes up there, wherever it goes. So I will follow it. What I'm doing is I'm following it until I lose it, then I'll take out my phone, and if I need the GPS, it will show me where I am, and then I can readjust onto the original path. The weather's got worse, as you can see, and here, but you can see the path there running up the hill, so I'm still happy. Well, it's a bad time of year with all of this ferns, but the path is obviously not that clear anyway at this point. So 6-foot ferns does mean that you get wet. It's like walking through rain. I'm not sure if the back there would be a nicer option through the trees. At least I'm not getting soaked with every step. So, just the way it is. A or B. Well, let's go B. Is this easier than the ferns? Maybe not. Seem to have trees and ferns now. Whoa. Well, a clearing, but time to relocate. If I can get to that ridge there, all should be good. Pick up the path there. In between there and here, goodness knows. Phew, that was tough. That's what I've just come through. It's hard to see up there whether it's easier up further north, further up the hill. Possibly it is just worth going to make a big detour. I will do that next time, but the path is through there, and down here we have a place where I can cross the fence. Looks like a gate or something, so fingers crossed. Famous last words. If I say that's the worst of it, I don't know. I doubt it, but it was certainly tough. Anyway, so for about a kilometre the path hasn't been too bad. One we dipped to pass a burn, but the weather's got worse, and this is back, and this is forward. So it's Skye, and the clouds have come down to the ground, so it's raining everywhere. Up, down, down, up, left to right, and right to left. Here we are. I did see a little bit of the landscape, and down there is a Forestry Commission road. Here is what looks like the same as was really difficult to get through. So if the path disappears, I'll be going down heading downhill, trying to catch onto that road as an easy way out. So that's the plan. The mist is coming in again, so I'll just have to use my navigation skills to get through this last bit. Another 2 miles to go, I think. Well, the path was going all right until here, so I'm just going to check my phone. Wish had gone down to the road, but the path was coming along nicely. I said it in my mind, I was saying I'll go along until I can go no further, and then maybe it's down, bail out and go down to the road, which is not going to be pleasant. So there's a couple hundred feet down there. Right, this is in the middle of the forest, and it's where some animal has gone round and round and round in a circle. I saw another one around some trees, and I thought, well, that's a bit weird. And this is very weird. So, don't know what that is. Can't see it so well from here. And there's another addition here. It goes down a little bit further. Oh, bizarre. So I make my way down through larger trees to avoid, so that the undergrowth is less of a problem, and it's easier to see where you put your foot. There's a few stones, and it's hard going, but I'll get there. I've been doing this about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but that circle there is a bit bizarre and worth putting on camera. I can see the road over here, and we're out of the wilderness now. Pretty good for forestry track for the last well, this road for the last half a mile, but before then a nice forestry track. And yeah, even passed a few people who are out bird watching. So that is half of the journey today, and it's 3ish, I think, 3:30, and I've still got the same again if I'm gonna get into Broadford. That's about another 8 miles. Drover's track or trail was tough, remote, hard work, and I didn't have the best of weather as well, but it's done, and I wouldn't have missed it. It was another little piece of adventure that slots in nicely with the rest of this bigger story. So there's the main road just down there, and this is our the original road, which I'm on at the moment, which is running parallel and a really nice path, really smooth, nice, and just off the main road, which should keep me safe. And it's annoying with those cars going past. I'm just going to stop and have some lunch now. It's 4 o'clock, a bit late for lunch, but I'll have some lunch all the same. Lunch today is my favourite mackerel, oatcakes, and this will be a nice treat. So that's lunch. It's oily fish, so that's really the reason I eat it, because it's good for my joints, and that helps when walking. Also these tablets, which I mentioned before. So I should I'm trying to keep all the enough nutrition in my body to rebuild because of the excess wear that I can get from doing this walk, so I want to keep all the joints supplied with as much nutrients that are specific for them. So natural ways with some oily fish, the less natural ways with the tablet, which combines a whole load of other nutritional elements that will keep my joints in good condition. So yeah, good. Well, this is the campsite from last night. Very often the only place in an environment like this is to find the flat surfaces, a wee path, and my tent was just in that impression there, because everywhere else is absolutely boggy or uneven. It's about 2 miles down to Broadford. You can see down here. That's the path. Here we are. This is the road. That's the mainland. And there's Skye laid out. So we're going to Broadford. At Broadford I've got a place at the campsite. What I'm going to do today is look after myself. It was about 2 or 3 miles down the road through Broadford to the other side, and I've got to the campsite. Very friendly, lovely facilities, and at the moment my power bank is being charged at the reception in a wee cabinet locked away and safe. So coming here is really nice. My toe's sore, so I want to rest that. The rest of me is a bit achy and I really need just a break. I can feel it. So in a bit I'll have a shower, do the washing, and then go and do my shopping. I'm sending a few things back home that I haven't used or don't need, and that should line the pack by 400 or 500 grams. It's okay to be in the city, bit of traffic noise. City, it's just a village really. Seems like a city after all the wild places I've been in. And tomorrow I will start the Skye trail, so I will start looking at the map and checking out the route, and yeah, so all good.